Now, let's talk about lighting and our brand of reference is non-light. We sometimes go out there to source or buy, purchase light, and let's just quickly look at okay, what do we think of first when we want to purchase light? First, you are looking at power draw versus output. Some lights can draw so much power, but can't output luminance as much as some other lights that draws little power and project higher. You get so. If I'm thinking of buying a light right now, the reason we gradually moved away from the tungsten, those the 2K halogen bulbs kind of lights is because of their power draw. Where they draw 2,000 watts of power and they output a particular intensity that is not even as bright as some other lights, the modern light that draws just 500 watts. So you want to look at your power draw versus light output. Then you look at your TSCL, or let me say CRI and TLCI. The CRI color rendering index, while the TLCI television and lighting consistency index. TLCI, so that when you're buying light, you may see in the specification they write a particular rating and they say it is the TSCI of 90 or 80 or 95 or TSCI of 90, 95 or what thereabout. And I would tell you outrightly, if you are buying a light in the modern day, ensure that the light meets up to a minimum of 95 CRI or TSCI. The highest possible is over 100, and the most accurate light out that we have in our that we have in the industry is the sun. The sunlight is the most accurate, producing 100% of color rendering index. I think the other lights like the even the 2K lights, those are 2K halogen kind of bulbs. They are also very, very close because of how they are made. But for our modern lights like the LED bulbs, the way they are made, if you are not careful, they end up suppressing certain colors. That is the problem with some lights. So that you're not buying light just because it is bright. How well does it reproduce the colors, the skin? You see, because when some bad lights do damage to your skin, especially on the skin, you may never recover what was lost compared to if you had used a light that has full color spectrum. Now, for the CRI and TLCI, CRI, which is the color rendering index, was the first mode of measuring. Yes, before the newer version came in, which is the TLCI. And what is the main difference between the two? The CRI is there is someone or a human ends up vetting the accuracy, while the TLCI is done using the software, more digital. But their process is similar, just human as the judge, software as the judge on the other. If we can project this. Yes. Now, daylight. I will call our daylight the sunlight. Now, halogen, it's close to daylight. Our halogen bulbs, like I told you, they are still very close to daylight. Then look at what is happening with some local lights like fluorescent. See how some colors were chopped because of the. I'm not a scientist. Because of the technology used in creating them. You see, they end up casting luminance in a way where some colors are suppressed. So you do not want to just carry any lights to film your set. Make sure you have lights with a good color rendering index so that you have a spectrum that is as full as something like this too, but preferably this. And if you have a light that is 95 and above, you are close to having what the daylight will give you, which is the sunlight. Okay, so you also want to check for transportation. All through last week, I was in Abuja and I shot about 3-4 videos, and I went to Abuja with just these lights, and the non-light Fosa 300 runs on 2 V-mount battery, and I used for all the shoots. I did mostly exterior, and even though I wouldn't compare the output to the the non-light have Evoke 1200. That's to more than the 2K HMI. Yes, the 1200. Now, I wouldn't compare the output, but I was able to still light, especially for medium and close-up shots, the talent using just this Fosa 300 with 2 battery. The power options, How do you power? What options are available for you to power your light? Is it just by a grid, plug into a power outlet, or can you power off battery? So you want to look at the power options available based on your type of production. Then the flexibility when it comes to rigging. For some productions I have used the Aperture 600D. The very first time I used Aperture 600D, the lighting team came with a C-stand. I was to record Tim Godfrey. And then, okay, let's do overhead lights because I usually prefer to light overhead. Now, there was a problem. The stand can't carry the 600D. The light you are working with, how well can you rig it in complex environments? Are you limited to just working with this stand, or can you hang and put around your environment, or would you need to employ a grip every time you need to hang it somewhere? Okay, so you want to check for control. You want to check for control, if it has a lot of flexibility when it comes to control. For some RGB light, I have another light. I may not call the name, where I just, when I increase the light, it goes 5%, 10%, 20%. You may think it's not a problem. It's a problem when you realize that there is some kind of too much of, something's a little too exposed. You're trying to cut down a little bit, and the thing is telling you from 10 jump to 5. You see, so you want to be sure that the control has micro shifts so that we can do 0.01%, 2%, just like that, micro shifts for you to nail that perfect exposure you want. Okay, you want to check for diversity in usage. When I say diversity in usage, I may just necessarily be talking about, you see, these are the tube lights. They are all same model, but you can see them in different colors and shade because they are RGB lights, and that one is giving us the pixel effect. If you are doing a VFS work, if I'm to do a VFS work now, and I'm thinking someone is driving on the street, and they have a green screen, and I'm supposed to, my intention is to remove the green screen. Instead of doing sometimes where you have to start spinning the light to simulate movement, I will just you can attach all these 4 lights, create a full streak of light, and then have the light animate from beginning, just like that, on the loop to the end, giving us this passing by light effect. So this is one creative way to use the pixel animation effect. And then you have the fireworks and all of that. I did a tutorial or a video then some years ago on my page where I simulated the thunder effect. Yes, the rain was falling, and then okay, we don't have control over the thunder to say, oh yeah, thunder, come on now, no. So with our lights, we were able to simulate the thunder when we needed it. Sometimes we want to motivate a natural light. Someone is in the room. He's reading. He's reading, and your scene tells us that he's in an environment where he's reading using a candle. But sometimes the intensity of a candle is not sufficient to light up your talent. If you put on just a standard light, what happens? It will kill the effect of the candle because the candle light is not stable. So that's the variability in the luminance of a candle. You want to use a light that have that effect so that when you nail that in, it can also give you that variability in luminance. So that is where some of these lights come in. Okay, then shaping and modifiers. You want to also buy lights or work with light that gives you room to modify them. When we say modify them, sometimes you want a light to be this bright, like flooded the entire environment. Some other time you want to cut it so that a particular part of the scene is dark, some part is bright. Sometimes you want to use it as a spotlight, and sometimes you want to use it for some other purposes. Sometimes even when I want to light a studio background, sometimes I use the Nalight Lantern Softbox to emit a general ambient light to the environment, including for green screen. Maybe a couple of, maybe like 2, 3, depending on the studio size or the size of the background. Then we have the freshener. This is the Nalight freshener. This is the Nalight freshener. So we can take out the softbox if we don't need it, and we insert the freshener just as an accessory without necessarily buying the light, and then I can adjust the focus if I want it to be a little spotty or flooded. And then we have the bander to also shape the light. You know, for filmmaking, you're not just turning lights, you are creating a mood. So you shape the light. And if you are having a light like this light or COB light, don't attach your gel directly to them. You are likely going to roast that gel, thereby roasting your lights in return. You see. So because they are very hot. So when you have something like the freshener, it dissipates heat from the back, and at least it increases the distance between the lamp head and the gel. So you can attach your gel, clip it on the band door. This is non-light projection attachment. This one works with FOSA 300 and FOSA 500. Please, when you're buying some of these accessories, be sure to buy the one that is made for a particular light, because sometimes, if you check some of these lights, the distance between the mount and the bulb varies from one manufacturer to the other, sometimes from one model to the other. So if you buy an attachment that is not designed for your light, you may not get the desired results. Projection light increases the brightness of FOSA 300 or FOSA 500 by 900%, which is 9 times the intensity, because it focuses the light and shoots it. So for outdoor, if I'm doing outdoor and I don't have the HMI 18K, HMI 12K, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm a solo filmmaker, or it's a small production, and I need a highlight, you see, I have that guy to intensify my FOSA 500 by 9 times, then that will be good enough for me to throw somewhere and highlight my hair. And of course, we'll verticalize if we have the time, because apart from the lens intensifying the light, we have cutters. These cutters perform better than bandos because they have precise blades. I'm cutting out this object, and then you just adjust the cutters till the light is exactly where you want it to be. If we have the time, we'll verticalize. So you really want to look at accessories, possibility of accessories when you're investing in lighting.